This evening, City Hall's campaign to reclaim the municipality's reserves continues. The Guyana Hemp Association encourages Minister Harman to get educated about hemp. Ministry of Public Health presents plan to lower the nation's suicide rate. The turnkey homes are getting a multi-million-dollar facelift, compliments of the Ministry of Communities. In the region, in Venezuela, find out why Lilian Tintori, wife of jailed opposition leader Leopoldo Lopez, believes Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro is a dictator. And internationally, is gay sex a sin? A UK Liberal Democratic MP, who is also a Christian, believes otherwise.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Ramsville Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Headline News is now being streamed live on our YouTube channel. Join us. The Guyana Hemp Association is calling out Minister of State Joseph Harman for incorrect statements made about hemp over the weekend. Here's more. Members of the Guyana Hemp Association rejected Minister of State Joseph Harman's recent comments regarding hemp legalization.
Severe disappointment of what Minister Harman said.
During a community outreach in Den Amstel, West Bank, Demerara on Sunday, Minister Harman was asked by a Demerara Waves reporter of the government's position on the legalization of industrial hemp, to which Harman said that the United Nations and Guyana's laws still consider hemp a prohibited narcotic drug. The cultivation of industrial hemp would be permitted if the law is amended. Harman indicated that government was not in a hurry to amend the law, saying, quote, "This is not a huge priority for the government at this point in time because we are still fighting drugs in Guyana. We are still identified by many countries as a transshipment point for narcotic drugs, and therefore we have to ensure the way the world sees us is not as a narcotic state, and we have to be very careful about how we are branded and how people see us."
I want to tell Mr. Harman that while he is talking about narcotics, that the United Nations already has taken hemp off the narcotic heading.
Members of the Guyana Hemp Association would like to emphasize the fact that hemp is not marijuana. Smoking it does not give one a narcotic high like marijuana would. It is their opinion that the central government's confusion over hemp is stymieing the private sector and costing this government millions. Millions in the form of aid that must be given to poor families.
And our economy is not to the very great tip as yet. And we would just like to help the government if they open up to us and they open up to giving us this responsibility as a private sector, that we will be able to provide more jobs, more opportunities for our families, and we'll be able to take probably a little pressure off the government by being self-employed.
Guyana Hemp Association member Dennis Austin encourages government ministers to do their own research into the benefits of hemp.
I appeal to my President Granger, Honorable Minister Harman, and all the rest. Y'all do a research into it and see. Don't listen to me words or my brother alone. Y'all go into it and see what the hemp would do for Guyana. And if y'all really want to take me out of poverty, y'all going to take us or help us come out of poverty.
For more information about hemp, hemp products, and the positive impact legalization will have on the economy, visit GuyanaHemp.com. According to a report in Demerara Waves, as of Tuesday, hundreds of Cuban passengers who were stranded in Guyana for several days began leaving the country. This after the Honduras-based Easy Sky airline was granted temporary permission to fly here. Due to safety issues, the airline was never given full permission to operate in Guyana. The flight was due to leave Chedijagan International Airport at 10:30 a.m. last week Tuesday with 75 passengers and cargo before returning 10 hours later to fly out more persons. In all, 433 passengers had been stranded in Guyana since last week. Authorities state that Easy Sky would not be allowed to resume flights to Guyana until a complete review of its application and approval process is completed, but declined to go into further details. The officials said they don't have permission to bring in more passengers until we have carried out a complete surveillance on them. the GCAA official said. City Hall clears Sandy Babb Street Railway embankment of unauthorized vehicles as 2 other properties could be demolished for being in the path of the city's reserves. Andrew Weeks reports.
On Tuesday, it was a big scene as City Hall Works Unit, along with city police and engineers with high-masts and other demolishing machines, continued their campaign for the removal of derelict vehicles on city reserves. Superintendent of Works, Eardley King, said City Hall has plans for the embankment. Put on it when you finish clearing it.
We plan to clear it and probably based on the plan with the engineers to extend the road,
Okay.
the railway embankment.
Okay.
Here and intersect it with Sandy Babb Street.
Okay.
So that's the plan. That's the road project.
But for over 2 years now, there was a mechanic shop squatting on the embankment without the permission from the council. And it was a hamburg to residents in the area, says Ramesh Rajkumar, a hollow block maker who reported the matter to the city council.
Yeah, them blocking me entrance and
Disturbing you from your...
a whole night. They got a generator.
According to the superintendent of works, Mr. King, they have removed a number of old vehicles from the embankment.
Approximately 6.
6 vehicles.
6 vehicles.
Okay. So in other words, council is putting everyone on notice.
Yes. Before, right? And we fail to comply, then we act.
Okay. In the process of removing the vehicles, the demolition team also cleared objects that are impeding on the council's reserve. And Mr. Rajkumar, who reported the matter of the mechanic shop disturbing him, was in the path of council's reserve. He was not happy when the team demolished part of his fence. Listen. Council broke down
Break down the fence. And me pal end there. They them break down the fence. Break down the fence. Block up the shed. They had the shed here. Them.
Okay. So you're calling on council to repair your broken fence?
Yeah.
Have you made a report to City Hall?
No, I got to go and make a report because them no do it.
And the guy is...
Up the way the shed, they're doing that. But beyond that, it belongs to him.
So he's on government reserve?
No. He was.
He was?
He was, right? Because we removed a shed that's right?
Okay.
That's pretty much.
Okay. According to Mr. King, the superintendent of works, the fence you're seeing here, belonging to this masjid, could be in the path of city reserve and could be demolished as soon as the city engineer can confirm on their maps at the office. But the mechanic shop took its business on the road. As it is the popular saying, the struggle continues and money got to be made. Andrew Weeks, Channel 2, Headline News.
Thanks, Andrew. Don't go away. Coming up on Headline News after the break, Ministry of Public Health presents plan to lower the nation's suicide rate. And the turnkey homes are getting a multi-million-dollar facelift. Compliments of the Ministry of Communities.
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery when you watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2.
It's always fresh, tasty, enticing, and the best in town. Served hot from our experienced chefs. Come and enjoy our daily meals with a wide and delicious menu to choose from. Also a wide variety of pastries and dessert. We can also host your luncheons, cocktails, parties, and formal gathering. For reservation, call 225-1730, 225-0038, and delivery 225-0195 or 225-0159. The New Thriving Chinese Restaurant, 32 Main Street, Georgetown.
Let's get it on. Total U Plus is introducing the bridal collection. We sell bridal gowns with over 150 styles to choose from, including bridal gowns for Muslim brides. We also sell bride and bridesmaid gloves, tiaras, petals, flower girl baskets, bridal pins, just married signs for vehicles, guest books and pens, aisle runners, veils, table placement holders, garters. Yes, the complete collection. Come see our bridal display in store. Total U Plus Bridal Collection, Froggity's Mall, booth number 16. Let's get it on.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
Regional Executive Officer of Region 5, Ovid Morrison, believes that the issue of suicide is a combination of a number of problems, and that the administration should treat it as such. Andrew Weeks reports that the Ministry of Public Health has a plan to beat down the suicide rate in the country.
Ovid Morrison, REO of Region 5, says the David Granger government is making strides to treat suicide as well as drug abuse, which is also out of control. He made the comments to government operatives recently. Morrison feels education is what is needed to help save youths from committing suicide and drug abuse.
You cannot attack it thinking that is one problem. Some people have the theory that is frustration. Some people have the theory that is unemployment. Some people have the theory that is lack of education. But I'm saying we need to examine it as a combination and find a solution to it. All of those factors may be determinant or influential with others, but we need to sit down and find the answers to those things. They're not doing it. Many of us as adults, we are not facing reality that we passed through a period where we were very experimental in our thoughts, and therefore young people is no different today than our era.
According to the 2014 World Health Organization report, the suicide rate in Guyana is 5 times higher than the world average. This put Guyana at the top of the list with 44.2 per 100,000 people, the highest suicide rate in the world. And again, this does not even take into account the number of suicide cases each year, or about 1 attempt every 5 hours in Guyana. For every single female suicide, there were 3.2 male suicides. By comparison, neighboring Suriname had a suicide rate of 27.8 per 100,000, and Venezuela's rate was 2.6 per 100,000. Morrison feels that the way some media houses report on suicide need much more to be desired.
We have to understand what we're not hiding nothing from them, but what we are supposed to guard them from. We have to understand how we are to do it intelligently so that they would not feel as though we are insulting them.
Region 5 is being recorded as having the highest rate of suicide in the country, with 8.8% and counting. While there are many attempts to help beat down the rate in the country, it is incumbent on the youths to help fellow youths to play a key role in this area. Very soon, the Ministry of Public Health Mental Health Unit will be implementing a self-harm screening tool to help identify and screen persons who have attempted suicide or practice self-harm. Andrew Weeks, Channel 2, Headline News.
Thanks, Andrew. On Tuesday, GT&T appealed to customers to be patient with internet outages they may experience as the company takes high-tech steps to ensure a faster and more reliable service by the third quarter of this year. The telecom's provider said the upgrade being undertaken in partnership with General Datatech is expected to be completed between July and September 2017. GT&T promised to ensure that there are as few as possible internet outages during working hours and early evening. The phone company said the work is well underway to apply the latest generation of networking technologies and equipment to its broadband network, investments that are expected to provide faster speeds, more capacity, and enhanced network reliability. GDT, a leading systems integrator and Tier 1 Cisco partner, will be working with GT&T to upgrade systems and architecture to a level consistent with the best practices of leading global service providers around the world. This after questions of whether or not they would truly be able to meet the capacity that Guyanese internet users need. New homeowners will not be the only ones to benefit from the Ministry of Communities housing drive. Owners of turnkey homes in Perseverance are already seeing badly needed repairs being done to their homes. Here's more. The Ministry of Communities is determined to rectify the mistakes of the past administration. More specifically, they are fixing the mistakes and poor craftsmanship of the houses constructed during the Turnkey Homes project. Thus far, the ministry has already committed several $1 million in relevant repairs to the homes. According to project manager Kennard Dazzle, the repairs should be completed by this weekend.
So this program will be definitely completed fully before the end of this week here, which will see all 200 buildings having some amount of work redone on them. Right now we've spent a few $1 million to repair some of these.
What is the most you've spent on one?
The average cost right now that we've spent, distributed, it's over about, say about $400 and something thousand for a building itself. Right?
What's the cost of one building?
The cost of one of these buildings is $4.9 million. That was being sold as a house and land. So definitely, we spent a few bucks.
They have also learned from the mistakes made in previous housing projects. Their goal is not merely housing, but building cohesive communities. The model homes built in Perseverance will be incorporated into the already established turnkey home community. Building playfields and common spaces, such as the one pictured here, are methods employed to build cohesive communities.
Outside of the designated playfield too, what you will find is where we have some smaller areas of land masses with public open space that you can actually go out and you can share. So it's not just building houses, we're building homes and building a cohesive community.
Earlier in the year, Minister within the Ministry of Communities, Valerie Adams Patterson, stated that the government would not abandon the Turnkey Homes project. This raised several questions as to why, to which Central Housing and Planning Authority CEO Leland Saul responded.
What you see here is the housing solution. We have duplexes, townhouses, we will construct single units, and of course we are giving out service lots. So it's not just one solution, right? So I must say that we are not abandoning anything. We are catering for the needs of the people.
Due to the previous administration's failed housing program, the phrase turnkey home has gained a negative connotation in Guyana, usually denoting a poorly made home. It is important to note that the phrase turnkey does not refer to the style of construction itself. Google defines turnkey as, quote, involving the provision of a complete product or service that is ready for immediate use, end quote. In essence, nearly every residential real estate transaction involving the sale of a fully built home could be considered a turnkey home. Don't go away. Still ahead, we have our regional and international news.
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery when you watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
Now opened, the new thriving Chinese restaurant Providence location. Perfect for large events, exquisite menus featuring traditional Korean, Chinese and Western cuisine, elegant grand dining room and seats for over 500 persons. Also additional seating on the upper flat, luxurious VIP rooms and an elevator for your comfort. The new thriving Chinese restaurant second location above Massey Supermarket, Amazonian Mall, Providence. For reservation call 623-4097 or 657-9067.
And news from the region now. In Venezuela, quote, Venezuela is a dictatorship. The world can no longer turn a blind eye to that reality, end quote, says Lilian Tintori, wife of jailed opposition leader Leopoldo Lopez. She spoke with Christiana Manampour, CNN's chief international correspondent.
Today, the world have the eyes here in Venezuela. What Venezuelans have at stake today is their own survival as a democratic nation. Venezuela is a dictatorship. The world can no longer turn a blind eye to that reality. In the last days, the repressive regime has carried 26 deaths, uncountable numbers of torture. There are almost 1,000 detained, mostly students, for exercising their constitutional right, the protest. The protest is a right, is not a crime. And we are in the street. We are fighting for democracy. We are fighting for freedom. So United States and all the countries in the world, we need help. We need help. And all the voice that are talking about Venezuelan people, talking about justice, democracy, and human rights, help us.
So what are your key demands now? What is the opposition's key demands? And who is going to help you get those demands? Or is it just you staying in the streets until they're met?
Yes, Venezuelan will regain democracy, but we need the help of the democratic world to achieve that. The world has to keep monitoring what is happening in our country and ask Maduro to comply with the petition of all Venezuelan election and freedom political prisoners, food, medicine, and justice, democracy. We have the courage, the will, and the love for our country to make that happen. What is happening in Venezuela is out garage. The world cannot accept what is going on and not do something about it. There is not only a moral obligation, but a mandate to support our plight for democracy. We need to get together.
All right.
We need to
Lillian,
work like a team for democracy.
how is your husband, and do you expect him to be released? He was sentenced to 14 years in jail. He's one of the leading opposition figures.
Yes, Leopoldo, my husband.
Yes.
Is the leader of the Venezuelan. He is in solitary confinement in a military prison. 700 days isolate of the 1,100 days in prison. Right now, 1 month, nobody can see Leopoldo. No family visit, no derecho a abogados, no derecho de la defensa, lawyer. The lawyer can get inside the jail. He's isolated. Why? Why? Because Leopoldo asked for Venezuelan people to protest, and all Venezuelan people answer his call.
All right. Well, we hope
are in the street.
We very much hope that
in a protest.
that they hear your message tonight. Lilian Tinturi, thank you for joining me from Caracas.
And internationally, following repeated questions about his views, Liberal Democratic leader Tim Farron has told the BBC's Eleanor Garnier that he does not believe gay sex is a sin. He added that in his view, political leaders should not, quote, pontificate on theological matters. BBC News reports.
It's a subject he's been asked about again.
You won't say whether you think having gay sex is a sin.
And again.
Does the honourable member think that being gay is a sin?
And again.
You said homosexuality not a sin. They say that you didn't answer when they asked you whether gay sex was a sin.
Oh, come on, Robert.
Well, he said being gay is fine until today the Lib Dem leader, a committed Christian, has refused to answer this question.
I don't believe gay sex is a sin. I take the view that as a political leader, though, my job is not to pontificate on theological matters. This had become a talking point, an issue, and in that case, if people have kind of got the wrong opinion of what I think about on these issues, that's something it's right, you're correct.
It's taken him almost 2 years since becoming the leader of the Lib Dems to clarify his position. But the pressure's increased since the election was called.
So what's changed in the last 48 hours that you are now able to say you don't think gay sex is a sin, yet for the last 2 years you have very blatantly swerved the question?
Well, I'm quite careful about how I talk about my faith. I'm not, I don't bang on about it. I don't make a secret of it either.
So you're either misleading people before or you are misleading people now. Which is it?
So the answer to that is that I was asked the question early on and I didn't want to get into a sort of series of questions unpicking the theology of the Bible.
Isn't it just that it's your Christian belief and you didn't want to admit it?
And no, that's not the case. What I want is to make sure that we deal with something that's become an issue.
So this is blatant electioneering?
It's a sense of understanding that, the question was asked to me a week ago. I don't think people want political party leaders telling them what is and isn't sin.
Mr Farron insisted the Lib Dems had undoubtedly the best record on gay rights out of all political parties. But it's clear the issue and the questions around it have troubled him personally and politically too. Eleanor Garnier, BBC News, Westminster.
And that's Channel 2 Headline News for this Tuesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook, YouTube, and SafeTVGuyana.com. You can also tune in tomorrow morning for a rebroadcast, and tomorrow evening at 7 for more news. For now, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out from this newscast. Thank you for welcoming us into your homes, and do have a blessed evening.